everybody, David Lindstedt here. It's my distinct pleasure and honor to have with me today Mr. Jack Smith, and we're going to be talking about his article called Strategic Continuity Planning, the First Critical Step. And Jack, maybe the way to start the conversation is to talk about the plan. So many organizations get asked, do you have a plan? Can we see the plan? Talk a little bit about the problems with the plan.
People get hired and into this role of manager of business continuity or whatever, and they're told, hey, we need a plan. Okay, well, why? That's the first question. So if the reason why is because we need to answer an audit or because we need to get that client on board, start working on that, but make it very clear to the management that this is not going to help us in a real crisis, that we're serving a different audience here. So if they say, well, no, we're really concerned. We really want a plan. Good. Well, here's what I'll give you. I'll give you a plan that doesn't waste any of your time answering a bunch of questions you may never need in a real disaster. So now we've totally divorced ourselves from answering the audit issue, etc. We'll do that project separately. And so let's work on the project of what does the business need? Let's face it. In most companies, what you start with is either nothing or, again, something along the lines of what we need to answer those external inquiries. So where do you start? And people say, well, let's start by saying everybody needs to give me a coordinator from each of their groups that I can work with to do the BIA, to do the technical plan. And, here's my 40 to 60 page template I use because that's what's, the traditional way of going about it. An executive manager sees that and says, there's no way I'm spending that kind of time and money or resources on it. He gives it to his admin's admin who gives it to his or her assistant. So now you got somebody way down the food chain, and you are running down a rabbit hole that's not going to produce any results. It can produce a lot of paper. It can produce a lot of paper because the only thing you have left is to just gather a bunch of stuff, whatever's laying around. Well, the first thing you do is you need to say, look, you know what? You guys are the executives. I really, I bow in your general direction. So I can't get off square one until I have a chance to sit down and talk with you to find out exactly, what drives you, what motivates you, what gets you through the night. So I can understand your business better, So tell me about what you do. And you just say, look, the last thing I want to do is waste your time. But the first thing I want to do is understand from you which areas of your business you want to focus on, how much time, money, and resources you, sir or ma'am, want to spend. Okay? Now, notice when I ask that question, you say, and I'll help your team put together the business continuity plan. Wasn't it your job to put it together? Well, I don't know your business, sir. You, ma'am, you know your business. And your people know your business. And I understand they're great people. They're very, very smart. So I really need to lean on them to make it the plan that you need. So I'm not wasting your time running in a direction because you know your business so much better than I ever will. Okay. What am I doing? I'm baiting the hook, because the idea is to get them into the boat. We get them into the boat and we get them to understand what's going on and get them invested into the process. And they say, okay, well, if I give you this person, what am I going to get in return? And how quickly? Because, next thing they're going to tell you is we want a plan right away. Oh, I'll give you a plan very quickly, but it'll be an executive level plan. It'll just tell you, in my opinion, the highest levels. This is our strategic plan. And ways that we can help you at least identify what's going to hurt. And the other thing it'll give you, executive, is that if something does go bump in the night and your boss comes to you and says, what's the impact to your group? You'll be able to give them something other than a shoulder shrug. Well, now you're speaking the level, to the correct audience here.
Yeah. So let's take a minute to summarize. So if we start out with big templates and we run around and we gather a lot of data and we gather a lot of information, we may already be starting behind the 8 ball. You may have expended a lot of time, a lot of effort. You bring this stack of stuff to the executives, and they're like, what were you doing? And this is a lot, and I don't care about all this. But if you flip that around them and you begin with the executives, then maybe you're starting off on the right foot and you have a lot more leverage to get done the kinds of things that you're going to need to get done.
Exactly. Because in a true crisis, what is going to happen? The executives are the ones that are going to want to step in and fix things. They're going to come in, and if the day one of a crisis, of a real event, you pull out this humongous plan that nobody else has really ever read or understand, and start to say, well, the first thing we're going to do is this.
Yeah.
I guarantee you every executive, especially if their bosses are on the phone, are going to say, no, we should go a different direction.